I support affirmative action.
Oh no. Why?
It's the best way to achieve equality.
But it's been 40 years and it still hasn't worked.
Things would have been worse without it.
How do you know?
Because it's such a great idea.
If it doesn't work, should we have affirmative action forever, so that your children and grandchildren are discriminated against?
I might change my mind if it doesn't work after another 20 years.
Or maybe you'll say things would have been even worse without it.
Good point. Let's make it 40 just in case.
Don't you think affirmative action is unfair?
No. White people should be punished for being against civil rights.
I don't think the guys with fire hoses and dogs from the 1960s are applying for jobs or college right now. You mean their grandchildren should be punished?
Close enough.
What about the white people who supported civil rights?
They don't count.
Why not? They were successful in achieving their goals.
They took too long. Besides, white people are rich, so they shouldn't get too uppity about being knocked down a peg.
What about the working class?
What about them?
They're not rich. Aren't Democrats in favor of empowering them?
That was before we discovered the concept of white privilege. The white working class already has enough going for them. They can stand a little discrimination.
I guess they can pull themselves up by their bootstraps?
No.
By bootstraps I mean white privilege.
Then yes.
How do you justify affirmative action programs that discriminate against Asians?
Asians create an achievement gap by working too hard.
Don't you guarantee an achievement gap if you require them to get higher test scores to get into college?
Eventually they will give up. Then we can all be equal.
Doesn't their success prove that affirmative action programs are unnecessary to counterbalance white privilege?
No, Asians don't count for that sort of thing.
Why not?
They are a model minority.
What does that mean?
It means they don't count.
What about immigrants from Africa and India and elsewhere? Haven't they also been successful?
Then they are all model minorities and none of them count.
Isn't it unfair to penalize one student based on how well other students of the same race performed?
It's justified if it helps us reach the goal of diversity.
Why discriminate against Asians then? Don't they add diversity?
No. We have enough of them already.
But it's unconstitutional to use racial quotas.
I don't believe in using quotas. That's just a straw man argument. Nobody supports using quotas.
Then how do you know when you have enough Asians? How do you know how much of each group to take?
Secret quotas.
But you just said you were against quotas.
I had to say that. How else can we keep them secret?
Isn't using quotas still against federal law, even if they're unofficial?
Universities are run by the most brilliant minds in the country. They should be writing the laws, not following them.
So much for democracy.
Democracy is overrated. The majority does a lot of stupid stuff.
You realize you're referring to the 14th Amendment?
Equal protection laws should only apply if someone's intentions are bad.
You have tried affirmative action for 40 years and it failed. Are you willing to try equal treatment?
No, it would never work. African Americans would suffer horribly from that.
What about professional sports?
That's different.
Why?
Sports don't have a history of discrimination against African Americans.
You mean besides not allowing them to participate?
It's still different.
How so?
Are you really going to make me say it?
What?
Wow. The only racist thing I believe, and you're going to make me say it.
What are you talking about?
Black people are inherently superior athletes.
If so, then why don't African countries dominate the Olympics or the World Cup?
Well, not all sports count.
Not even soccer, the most popular sport in the world? Which count?
Sport that a lot of African Americans play.
Is it possible that practice makes perfect, and knowing they will be judged on merit alone, has led to their success?
No.
Why not?
That doesn't leave any room for politicians to help.
Yes. Oh wait, you meant that as a bad thing.
Promoting minorities will improve their image.
Doesn't that only work if no one knows affirmative action is being used?
You think people know?
They might.
I told you the quotas need to be secret.
I guess there is no sense in continuing then?
No. This is a civil rights battle between good and evil.
Which side do you think you are on?
Good.
How do you know?
Black people agree with me.
What about black people who oppose affirmative action?
They don't count.
Why not?
They're not a big enough percentage.
I see. So the opinion of a minority group means everything, but a minority within a minority means nothing.
You have to draw the line somewhere.
I notice you drew the line at people who disagree with you.
That shouldn't surprise you.
It doesn't.
I meant of course I drew the line there, because people who disagree with me are bad.
I think I might enjoy spending more time with bad people. I have to leave in a few seconds. If you want to say it, you'd better do it now.
Okay. You're a racist.
See you next week.